Alright, Landers, so it's finally time for us to check out the 3 new resurrectable characters. Earlier yesterday, we did showcase Soifon and recommend you guys check that out. For today's videos, we're here to focus on Yamamoto, and then later today, we will check out Aizen's resurrection. In this case, we have 1000 Year Blood War BANKAI YAMAMOTO, the first time we ever saw this animated, right? I know now we've had a few iterations of this character, we've had it animated too in the episodes. But this was the first time we ever got to see Yamamoto's Bankai, and it was a really cool character when he was first added. So in this case, he himself is a speed sniper captain with the Holo Kill ability. Now for the most part, this showcase is meting him at 2 out of 5 special move level 2, so 500 additional SP, 1000 additional focus, and he does have an extra 125 SP, but that's not really that noticeable right now. For those that aren't already aware, what his resurrection does consist of, he picked up 2 new skills. For starters, his innate skill includes damage to burning enemies plus 30%. That's actually pretty decent, and it gets even better because he's the first character to get this particular skill when resurrecting, increased stats augment chance against power attribute holos. So more often than not, he is going to inflict stat augments, therefore allowing him to take advantage of that extra 30% damage to burning enemies. In addition, to go alongside that for bonus abilities, I said we might as well give him an extra 20% damage to burning enemies, so overall when we do inflict a stat augment, we're basically doing around 50% more damage. But I really do like the increased chance to inflict stat augments, and that might actually make him decently viable in IT, for example. Because at that point, every attack that you're doing is most likely going to inflict a stat augment. Does this make him anything super OP? No, but it makes him significantly better than what he was. And I think it's an overall solid upgrade, all things considered. Before we jump into the run though, for those running, this is the build. Badge, Fort Pill, Hunting Cap. With a recharge and side link, recharge and full stam, and also recharge link. Is it the best build? Probably not, but I'm just going to go with this. And I actually forgot to mention it, his soul trait is damage inflicted at full stamina and now also recharge. So a really good soul trait, one of the best in the attribute, and that's why I don't regret giving these materials to get him to SP level 10 because he's a very good link and I will use him as a link. So if you're wondering if you should invest into this character, for the link aspect, it's not really that bad of an idea. Alright then, so here we go, trying out BANKAI YAMAMOTO. Let's see how this does go. Unfortunately, I had a little lag spike right there, but it shouldn't be that much of an issue. So far so good, we're doing a respect amount of damage. This time again, we did give him 1000 additional focus, so we're essentially one-shot right now. That's not too bad. As you can see, when we used our Natchering, we were able to actually apply the burn. Can we even do it again with our Natchering now? Let's see how much... That's it. No, okay, we just killed with our Natchering. That's not too bad then. Little side note, not really relevant to the actual character right now. I think my controller's broken, and I've noticed that I've been spawning way far into the map. Like, look at that. How did I get that far in to the next map? That's a bit weird. But yeah, so far so good. I will say, now that we can actually start doing a good amount of damage with our strong attacks, the lack of Havoc definitely isn't that noticeable. Like, sure, it would be nice, but he luckily does have a great set of strong attacks. Like, the Havoc not being there isn't that big of a deal. In the case of Aizen, when we see his showcase, oh, that was really good SA2. In Aizen's case, he kind of does need to have it because he doesn't have the best set of strong attacks, but this Yama basically has all you want for in a strong attack hit, so you can't really complain about it all too much when he wasn't given Havoc, right? Especially because he is trading the Havoc for more damage and more utility, which I don't really mind. Sobon went off though, characters went down. Overall, what is our clear time looking like? We got a 1 minute and 19 second clear time. Faster than last time, but let's try that once more and see if we actually can get a faster clear time. Alright, then here we go. So I'm going to leave my SA2 first. I feel like the SA2 can be a lot better there. There we go. SA1 on these lights, and then 3 here. Not really the best. Maybe the Havoc would have actually been a better skill to get, but I mean, it's fine. Maybe we just have to use like 1 extra strong attack. Go in here. Let me use my SA3. Look at that. That feels good. That feels good. SA2 on these lot. There we go. We actually didn't kill that enemy there, but we did apply the burn, so we were able just to get 1 shot of our next strong attack. Let's go here, use our SA3. I think next stage, we're going to actually use our Soul Bomb. We'll say there, Havoc, if we had it there on that strong attack, would have killed him. Let's go here and use our SA3 into the 2. There we go. And then here we're going to use our SA1 and then Soul Bomb. There we go. Didn't actually kill all the enemies there, but it's fine because we do have the Vortex. So I think that's a good example of the Vortex Soul Bomb actually being somewhat decent. Yes, that we did mention, right, like the Soul Bomb Vortex kind of got made redundant because most time when you do Soul Bomb, you kill the entire stage. But I think that was a good example of it actually being somewhat useful there. In that case, though, we were able to clear almost a 1 minute clear time. Honestly, for a character that came out in 2019 Inheritance Trials, that's not too bad. Generally, it's not. Obviously, this character, with the way they designed him, he only really wants to be used when he has Killer, but when he does have Killer, you have some decent gameplay here. Next up though, let's put him against the test and try him out in co-op IT, where technically he's now a tad bit more usable, right? IT, you ideally want to actually inflict stat augments, and more often than not, Yama is going to be doing that. Ideally though, you do want the character to be max transcended, I will be honest. A character in 2019 in IT, even with this newfound resurrection, isn't going to be the greatest character. So if you are someone that actively wants to use this character, let's say he is for some reason your favorite character in the game, then you probably want to max transcend him, right? And we very well might do that for a later showcase this week, because honestly, he is kind of worth the investment, at least for the link aspects. But so far, so good. I mean, we went through this first stage on the slower end when compared to newer characters, but this isn't too bad. And we do have to be a tad bit careful here with the particular poison pause. So let's go right in the middle and use our SA3. Look at that. This is probably one of the more difficult ways in this map. And yeah, we're making quick work of it, I'll be honest. There we go. Just a few more attacks. And those, okay, I cancelled my SA2. The SA2 would have killed there, but it's fine. We actually used our Night String and applied the burn too. That's not too bad. This will be the boss stage, so we have to be a tad bit careful in where we do stand when using our strong attacks. The upcoming boss is actually the power version of Aizen. He can be very annoying if he catches us slipping. So in this case, let's use our SA3. There we go. And then back all the way out of here. We do not want to make sure we're in range. We applied the burn though, and look at that, 47 count our SA2. That's beautiful. Tenta is now doing his attack. We can actually use our SA3 here, and then 2. Is he down? Okay, just one more attack and he's down. There we go. I mean, so far, so good, right? We're not clearing super fast, but we aren't clearing slow either. And we are actually being able to go through this entire quest without getting hit once. That's not too bad. Let's use our SA1 there. Again, once we've got to be careful when I use my SA3 or when we clear the next wave. I don't want to get caught by the mobs. I believe this is the last wave before the bosses start spawning in. So I'm going to back up here and then use my SA1. Okay, next wave is when the bosses spawn in. Have to be super careful. SA1 into the arcade. Okay. My mistake. I don't know what happened there. I pressed my SA3. I was ready for it. I just generally don't know what happened. We unfortunately died. I guess that's a skill issue on my behalf, right? We unfortunately stood where we did not need to stand, and we got caught slipping. So in this case, let's use our SA3. So now we've lost a bit of DPS, right? Most just 25% full stamina damage. Maybe around 30%. But the character naturally doesn't have any full stam built in, so it's not that big of a deal, I guess. And we are still relying on most of our damage to come from damage to burning enemies. So in this case, we burnt these two. I don't want to use my Someone just yet, because technically we are 5-5, right? So for a 1 out of 5 or a 2 out of 5 Yamamoto, it's going to be a tad bit different. But with the burn damage, it is still chipping away at the HP. So the burn is actually helping us here, and that's going to last us to go through this wave, and didn't do a good amount of damage on this particular wave too. So in this case, we got a 3 minute and 58 second clear time. Not fast by any means, let's be honest. But again, the idea of a character like this is ideally you do want to have the max transcended when taken into content like this, because he wasn't made when this content was around. But still, we were able to clear, right? If I was showcasing him when he wasn't max transcended, we'd probably get like a 7 minute clear time. It'd be significantly slower. The increased chance to inflict burn here definitely was notable, and it definitely did help us clear his quest a tad bit faster. And last up, let's put him against the Awakened Acid Wire Epic Raid and see how fast he can actually clear. Keep in mind that he is currently a bonus, so he is getting that extra bit of damage. But I'm still curious to see how long it takes him to do essentially 23 million damage. Unfortunately, in this case, the increased chance to inflict burn isn't helping us that much, unless we inflict the Stasman with like our first attack, because the burn does wear off pretty quick. But so far so good. Looks like we went 50% in just around 45 seconds. It is of course going to get quicker once we do decide to use our Someone, which we will do on the final stage. I don't want to use my SA3 just yet. I'm going to chip away with my Night String and maybe wait for the SA1 once more, because I want to save that SA3 for when we decide to use our Soul Bomb. Like now, for example. Let's do the Soul Bomb. It's going to apply weakened defense. We did give that as a new bonus ability instead of damage to burning enemies. Keep that in mind. And now we have the Vortex. We get to use our SA2 and also SA3. Unfortunately, took a bit of damage there. The Vortex does not help in that particular sense, I guess. And again, my controller's kind of glitching there. Unfortunately, I've wasted an SA1. But yeah, maybe that's a rare example of why the Vortex isn't that good for a solo, because I didn't even see the particular attacks that Acid Wire was doing. Let's go up to the top left. There we go. One more attack should do the job. And it looks like we did around 23 million damage in just 1 minute and 35 seconds. That's pretty decent. And I think it's very similar, funny enough, to someone like Soifon, for example, who got a very similar clear time. But yeah, that's basically the head captain Yamamoto for you. So overall, I'm pretty happy with the outcome of his resurrection. Obviously, we aren't in the perfect world where a resurrection makes the character the best character in the game. That doesn't happen. But this resurrection, in my opinion, did make him better, way better than what he was prior to resurrecting. The extra burn damage, the increased chance to inflict burn is actually a really nice combo and definitely does help him out in normal PvE gameplay. At the same time, the character's link itself is also really good and worth investing into just for that aspect alone, because recharge and full stamina is one of the best combinations of assault rate in the entire game, and we don't have that many of those in the speed attribute. I think right now he's the third speed character to have that particular soul trait. But that's my opinion on the character in the comments below. Let me know what you like to think about him, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.